Part 118. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1185. I was just about to briefly meditate on the two newly obtained scriptures, and the Dian Divine Mirror and the Jade Slip of Creation, which had been rapidly absorbing spiritual energy, turned into a cocoon of light, finally made some movement. Dong dong dong. It was like the sound of a heartbeat, vibrating the entire Hunyuan stone ball. In just a moment, it extended to the entire Chaos Sea and even the entire Chongshan world. What sound? Countless people were surprised. However, Dragon Emperor and Renwuji looked at each other and directly urged Xiao Chongshan Cave Heaven to come to Su Junming's side. At this moment, the light cocoon has expanded countless times, almost the same size as the entire inner space of the chaotic stone ball. Su Junming bathed in the divine light and felt that his understanding was infinitely improved. The once obscure Hongmeng Avenue was now extremely clear. Of course, it's not just him. All living beings in the Chongshan world feel the improvement in understanding brought about by this heartbeat. In an instant, all the monks put down what they were doing and began to meditate. The heartbeat came quickly and didn't last long. After a quarter of an hour, he disappeared. But just this quarter of an hour gave countless monks who were stuck in front of the promotion door the confidence to go further. It has also allowed countless monks to make great progress, which can be called a great opportunity for the monks in the entire Chongshan world. I believe that in the next period of time, the entire Chongshan world will definitely be filled with thunder and tribulations, and the noise will continue. However, these are minor details. The real end point is still in the Chaos Stone Ball, here in Su Junming. As the heartbeat stopped, the skyrocketing cocoon of light quickly retracted, then quickly faded within a moment. An extremely powerful Hongmeng Lingbao revealed its figure for the first time. Su Junming could not describe its tyranny in words. This was something he had never seen before and had never experienced. It was as if all the words used to describe tyranny lost their color in front of it. Just taking a glance at it, it seems as if you are seeing the vast laws of the Great Road. Magnificent, majestic, and vast. Su Junming's heart was surging and he was extremely excited, while Dragon Emperor and others were dumbfounded. Shua. The new spirit treasure flashed through a stream of light, as if teleporting, and came to Su Junming. Subconsciously he stretched out his right hand, and the Lingbao automatically fell into his palm. The immersion of spiritual consciousness is the same as the previous Dian Divine Mirror. It can still move the fingers like an arm and move as desired. But after being fused with the jade slips of creation, the new Lingbao is still a mirror, but it is no longer a bronze mirror, but a milky white, jade-like stone mirror. The shape is no longer round, but square. Just looking at the appearance, except for the clear water-like mirror surface, there are no traces of divine marks around it, and the back is also extremely smooth, like the finest jade. The entire mirror looks simple and rustic. But Su Junming, who really controls him, is very aware of how tyrannical this baby is. The 12 Hongmeng spiritual restrictions are nested and fit into each other, like the most exquisite existence in the world. Every trace is so reasonable and every point is so clear. 1 point more is too much, but 1 point less is not enough. Moreover, every kind of restriction is in line with the creation of the Great Road. Just taking a glance at it, it seems that countless mysterious and obscure laws are right in front of you. Of course, this is just an illusion. If you really want to understand it, it will take a lot of time. As for supernatural powers, in addition to the Dian Divine Light, returning to heaven and returning to the sun and the creation of the universe previously possessed by the Dian Divine Mirror, as well as the endless creation, Kimandungia, and no shadow on the ground possessed by the creation Jade Slip, 3 new magical powers appeared. Flying to support the traces, with magical powers of space, one can cross infinite space with just a thought. Tegzufyuki has the magical power of time. If this magical power is activated, it can span infinite time. The fetus can change its shape. Men, women, old and young, birds and beasts can change all things of life and death at will. Not only the physical changes, but more importantly, the breath will also change accordingly. After carefully experiencing the power of the 9 magical powers, surprise appeared on his face. He also has 2 magical powers, such as Taoist and Tegzufuki. But the power is much worse than the 2. Using the new spirit treasure is thousands of times more powerful than using his own magical power. In addition, after the fusion of the 2, Lingbao's name will still be Dian Divine Mirror. Good Fortune Jade Disc is more of Hung Jun's name, not its real name. Seeing the successful integration of Lingbao, Renwuji and others also flew over. Boss, show me, let me see. Su De flew the fastest, and his eyes were even scarier. Su Junming didn't stop him either. Let everyone enjoy it. Finally, in Su De's reluctant eyes, he put away the Dian mirror. Hey, when can I have a top-quality Hongmeng Lingbao? Su De sighed. Just take a nap and you'll be fine. You can have everything in your dreams. Younger Ren, please stop being so sarcastic here. Don't you want the baby? Hee, I want it. But I'm not as greedy as you. The material of these swords is extraordinary. Wait for the old Kishin Gongdao to break through and practice it again. It is not easy to advance to the middle grade, but it is not difficult to restrain the 3 Hongmeng prohibitions. With me with the current level of cultivation, it is enough to use this treasure in conjunction with the natal spiritual treasure within dozens of Yuanhui. Humph, my desolate god tower is no worse than your double swords of heaven and earth. Boss, I want the baby I want. Su Junming looked at Chen Xianzang, who said, just help me refine a protective spiritual treasure, a sword, a spear, a sword, a halberd, whatever it takes. Lao Lu, it's better to refine an attack spirit treasure. Otherwise, when you face the enemy, you won't have an attack spirit treasure at your disposal. How will you kill the enemy? Renwuji said. Ha ha ha, I never rush up to kill the enemy with the way of karma. It's very dangerous. What if I get killed? So protect yourself first, and quietly casting curses is the best way. As for attacking hard, then it's something that the boss and the 8th are good at, but I'm not good at it. Seeing Chen Xuanzang's face like this, Renwuji grinned and was speechless. The path of cause and effect is really like this. Boss, Hung Jun should still have a corpse alive, Ao Tian said. I know. Without the jade disc of creation, he is nothing to worry about. Aren't you going to cut the grass and get rid of the roots? No need. An existence that is no longer a threat to us, don't worry about him. In fact, he had already figured out the whereabouts of Hung Jun's corpse, and it was in the real world of Jamfu. It is not difficult to kill him. But now he has set his sights on the realm of Hongmeng. No matter it is Hung Jun, Shenyi, or even the Daihuang clan and the human Huang clan, he has already ignored them. This is also the reason why he only captured these people and did not intend to kill them. Besides, killing is too wasteful. Wouldn't it be better to keep these Hunyuan golden immortals to contribute to the growth of Chongshan world? Okay, let's all go back to practice. When our destiny treasure advances, we can prepare to overcome the tribulation. Hearing this, everyone's faces showed anticipation. With the help of the Dian Divine Mirror, their Taoism has already broken through the Hongmeng. The only thing that hinders them from overcoming the tribulation is the natal spiritual treasure. When the natal spiritual treasure can keep up with Taoism and advance to Hongmeng, it will be the time for them to overcome the catastrophe. After everyone left, with a thought in their hearts, the gourd vine swallowed the body of the tiger-headed demon and the unnamed piece of Swanyan jade. With these 2 treasures, plus the body and soul of Lord Night Demon, at least half of the gourds in his gourd vine can advance to the Hongmeng spiritual treasure, which is enough for him to protect him and advance to the Hongmeng realm. After doing this, feeling the power of heaven and earth that was dozens of times thicker, he waved his sleeves, and a water mirror appeared in front of his eyes. In the world of Chongshan at this moment, there is an additional piece of land that is 100 times larger than the original Central Continent, Shadow Realm Continent, Wawan Continent, Giant Spirit Continent, etc. combined. The rest of the continents, with the exception of the Central Continent, are more like islands than the others. However, this continent is miserable. Most of it is filled with bumpy rocks, and there is no life in sight. The prehistoric continent was really badly destroyed by the catastrophe. With a thought in his heart, the reborn Dian divine mirror flew into the world of Chongshan. Creation is endless. However, a powerful spiritual light of creation spread from the divine mirror and soon enveloped the entire prehistoric continent. The next moment, the volcano erupted, heavy rain poured down, thunder bursts, the strong wind tore the hard rock apart, and the rushing water turned the gravel into soil. Then a little bit of green grew tenaciously. At first it was just fragile but tenacious weeds, followed by shrubs and a large number of trees. In just a matter of seconds, the entire continent came back to life. After nodding with satisfaction, he took a long breath and took back the Dian mirror. Fortunately, this is the treasure of my soul contract, and it is activated by the power of heaven and earth. Otherwise, all the spiritual energy that I had to grasp for the magical power of creation just now will be drained away. After restoring the vitality of the continent, Su Junming transferred the already crowded human races on other continents. Even so, the entire continent still seemed extremely empty. But the tone has been set, and it will just develop slowly in the future. Thanks to the book friend 202012072007256777 for the 100 starting coin reward. Thank you very much. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1186. A ray of light pierced the sky, and after rushing through the sky, a world of vast white clouds and rich spiritual energy suddenly appeared in front of them. Occasionally, you can see floating islands floating by, large and small, numbering no less than 1,000,000. Passing through many floating islands, a magnificent palace complex with tens of thousands of palaces and pavilions suddenly appeared in front of them, shrouded in infinite fairy light. Surrounding this majestic palace complex are 4 stone archways with a height of 10,000 feet. Under the archway is the huge Qingxi Square. Millions of escaping lights rise and fall here, like endless shooting stars, showing the beauty of flying stars chasing electricity. The previously escaped light fell on the square, and the light dissipated, revealing 2 figures. The one in front was wearing a green robe, holding a green bamboo staff, with 3 strands of long beard on his chin, and his temperament was extremely elegant. The one behind him was also wearing a blue robe and holding a bamboo stick in his hand, but he looked obviously much younger. "Dean, is this the heaven?" the young man asked curiously. "No, this is the Kishu branch of Heavenly Court." After countless calamities, the world of Chongshan was divided into 365 major states, each of which was 4 or 5 times the size of the ancient prehistoric times. Looking at the towering palaces and pavilions, the young man exclaimed, "I didn't expect that just one Kishu branch could be so huge. Haha, we in Kishu have tens of millions of monks in the Yuanyang realm. Although they are not as good as Qin, Qi, Zhao and other Shangzhous, they are still average. The Kishu branch of Heavenly Court is responsible for the management of tens of billions of Yuanyang monks. The place doesn't look big, right?" the young man asked curiously. The elegant middle-aged man smiled and said, "Come with me." The 2 of them followed the flow of people and walked into the archway. The young man felt a flash of light and the scenery in front of him changed drastically. The building complex that originally looked large from the outside expanded tens of thousands of times in an instant. Each of the tall palaces is hundreds of thousands of feet high. Roads of escaping light came in and out, like endless birds, densely packed. The young man couldn't help but be stunned. All major branches of Heavenly Court and even the headquarters are trained with Hushan Taoism. What you see from the outside is only 1/10,000th of the actual size. As he spoke, a majestic figure strode forward from behind, his huge body exuding powerful oppression. However, the monks around him had already become accustomed to the strange situation. They just took a look and went about their own business. The young man saw it for the first time and exclaimed, "Dean, are these the legendary giant spirits?" "Yeah. We don't have many giant spirits in Kizhu, so we can't see them easily. Places like Yuanzhou and Liaozhou were originally the hometowns of the giant spirits. Although more than a dozen Yuanhui came down and have been dispersed, the giant spirits there are it is still the most in the entire Chongshan world." After a pause, the elegant middle-aged man showed a look of reverence on his face. "Thanks to the patriarch Chongshan who I sent to lead many masters to sweep across the heavens, there is now a situation where the human race, the giant spirit race, the beast race, and the demon race all prosper together and live in peace. The patriarch and all the masters are really amazing. Young people have also read records in history books about the ancestors who subjugated various tribes and opened up the world of Chongshan. It's just that things in ancient times are too far away from him. From the time he was practicing Qi to becoming an immortal, he had never met his ancestor. Dean, do you think that if I break through the Great Luo and enter the Sea of Chaos in the future, can I meet the patriarch?" "You can definitely see it. But before that, you have to practice hard and strive to become Tai immortal as soon as possible." "Yes. I will definitely practice hard." The young man nodded firmly, his face full of confidence. Seeing him like this, the elegant middle-aged man smiled and patted his shoulder, sighing in his heart. It has been 30,000 years since he served as the dean of the lower court of Qingshan County. There are about 5,000 disciples who have become Yuanyang immortal from the lower courtyard of Qingshan County, but only a few hundred disciples have actually become Tai immortal. Almost the cream of the crop. How difficult it is to become Tai immortal. Even he himself gave up. However, he did not want to dampen the enthusiasm of his disciples. It is always good to have dreams. "Let's go and register. You can stay in the middle courtyard to practice from now on." The young man nodded, with strong anticipation in his eyes. Since the heaven and earth were established more than a dozen Yuanhui ago, Chongshan Academy has united various tribes, as well as sects such as Renjichan and Buddhism to establish the heavenly court. It is different from the heaven in the prehistoric era. This time, the heavenly court truly has the ability to govern the immortals. Anyone who commits crimes and kills without calculation will be detained by the heavenly court or even beheaded. However, the heavenly court only controls the monks who have achieved Yuanyang immortal realm and above. The monks who have not become immortals are under the jurisdiction of the mortal dynasty or sect. As long as there is no such large-scale killing, heavenly court will generally not intervene. However, once a monk becomes an immortal, he must register with the heavenly branch of the 365 states. Anyone who becomes an immortal but does not register will be detained. No matter which sect or tribe you belong to, we are all treated equally. Coupled with the existence of the Lord of Heaven, the fourth patriarch of Chongshan, and now the true monarch Tai Suzaiwei Ao Tian, who has now reached the level of Hongmeng Supreme, no one dares to go against the will of this powerful person. And this is also the will of Chongshan Academy. The 8 ancestors of Chongshan are like 8 ancient giant mountains, and no monk dares to challenge them. Riding the escaping light, he flew through the majestic palaces. Along the way, he watched the monks riding tigers and dragons, flying swords and straddling spears, who were either majestic or leisurely. The young man had a look of envy on his face. The elegant middle-aged man saw this and smiled, "Don't envy them. Once you register in the upper court, you will get the green jade staff that all the disciples of my Chongshan outer sect have. Although this treasure is not powerful among the Yuan Yang immortal weapons, only our Chongshan Academy has the strength to provide all outer disciples with mid-grade Yuan Yang immortal weapons. In comparison, other tribes and sects do not have this treatment. The pride is beyond words. Dean, I heard that new disciples are also rewarded with elixirs and robes, right? That's right. 12 pills of Yuan Yang Ren Huang Dan assist in refining qi, 9 pills of Yuan Yang Yi Qi pill are used to heal injuries, and 6 pills of Yuan Yang replenishing spirit pill are used to replenish the soul. The robe is not a fairy, the weapon is just an ordinary Yuan Shen magic weapon, but the materials are good. If it is nurtured and raised in the future, it will not be difficult to be promoted. Is our Chongshan Academy so rich? Of course. However, this is also the benefit accumulated by the ancestors of Chongshan through all the difficulties for us, the younger generation of disciples. It is said that in ancient times, when our sect was first founded, there were not so many benefits. After saying that, he sighed, we really live in a good era. The young man nodded in agreement with a firm expression, in the future, I will definitely inherit the will of the ancestors and carry forward our section. Haha, this is also the common wish of our hundreds of millions of Chongshan disciples. Okay, the Chongshan Kizhu Intermediate Courtyard is ahead, so follow me closely. Yes. The two of them walked around the majestic palace in front, and a group of buildings that looked like a garden in the lower world appeared in front of them. The building complex, covering an area of approximately millions of acres, looks not much larger than the buildings next to it that are often hundreds of thousands of feet high. But the powerful restrictions and the rich spatial charm show that a huge space has been opened up inside. However, the wisps of mist covered by clouds obscured all prying eyes. Although the school gate with cornices and brackets is 1,000 feet high, it is not grand here, and there are only 3 steps, which makes it look more approachable than those palaces with stacked steps to make themselves look superior. There are not many people at the gate, because Chongshan disciples who have already enrolled can fly out directly from the school without going through the gate. Therefore, most of the people here are newly admitted or visiting monks. The elegant middle-aged man sent hundreds of disciples here, so he was very familiar with the journey. All the gatekeepers and disciples knew him, so they entered easily. When they arrived at the academic affairs office, they were greeted by an old monk with white hair and beard. Boy Chiao, it's you. Chiao Yun has met Senior. The elegant middle-aged man quickly bowed and saluted. Young people did not dare to neglect and followed closely. The moment he lowered his head, he felt 2 sharp eyes sweeping over him. This little kid is good. He has a solid foundation. He will practice hard in the future and has the hope of becoming Tai. Why don't you thank Master quickly? Disciple Xia Lingyun, thank you Master for the compliment. The old man waved his hand and motioned for them to follow. After passing through 2 corridors, we came to a majestic hall. On the high plaque, there are 3 words Ancestral Hall hanging. The gate was closed and there was no guard in sight. Coming closer, the old man pinched a few seals, and a spiritual light flew into the door. Then he opened the door and led them in. The 3 of them came to a vast space that was millions of acres in size. There are dots of stars on the left and right sides, no less than hundreds of billions in number. Surrounded by endless lights, 8 huge portraits hang in the air in front. Each portrait is different, but all have a majestic air that makes people feel awe. Xia Lingyun had seen the portraits of the 8 ancestors in the Patriarch Hall of the lower court, so he was not surprised. After the old man bowed 3 times in front of the 8 portraits, he waved his hand and a glass spiritual lamp flew over. Little guy, go up to the first drop of blood. Xia Lingyun did as he was told. Call. A 3-inch tall cyan flame burns spontaneously without fire. The old man smiled and nodded, and with his magic power, the glazed lamp flew into the billions of lights around him. He waved again, and a jade book about 10 feet long and wide flew over. The old man opened it, and there was a faint spiritual light inside, and countless words flickered. After turning to the last page and registering Xia Lingyun's name, the jade book disappeared. Okay, you have entered the sex roster and lit the soul lamp. From now on, you will be one of the 190-39-72 disciples of the outer sect of my Chongshan Academy, the 37th, 574th generation. Chongshan Academy is divided into direct sect, inner sect, and outer sect. Generally, for outer disciples, one generation lasts for 100,000 years, with the lowest being at the Yuan-Yang realm. For inner disciples, one generation lasts for tens of thousands of years, with the lowest being at the Tai realm. The direct disciples are the most demanding. One era is one generation, which is 129.6 million years. And you have to be promoted to Hunyuan to get started. As for the disciples who have not become immortals, they are not considered official disciples of Chongshan Academy, and they are not registered on the entrance wall, nor are their names recorded. The lower house of Chongshan Academy has become an institution similar to compulsory education for more than a dozen Yuanhui years. No matter what clan you are from, what country you are from, whether you are rich or poor, when your child reaches the age of 7, he must study in Chongshan lower court, and there is no tuition fee. It has truly spread the practice to every corner of the Chongshan world. Even the monster clan in the deep sea has the Chongshan lower courtyard. Also, because the disciples of Chongshan Lower Academy are not forced to join Chongshan Academy, all races and factions also hold their noses and admit it. Of course, Chongshan Academy is too powerful and it is their home field, so there is no way to deny it. Thanks to book friend Dark Moon Swanyi for the 100 starting coin reward. Thank you very much. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1187. Kneel down 3 times and kowtow 9 times in front of the Patriarch's temple to perform the entrance ceremony. Xia Lingyun came forward respectfully, knelt 3 times and kowtowed 9 times. When he got up, a 9-foot-long bamboo staff suddenly appeared in front of him, divided into 9 sections, and its aura was as bright as a bamboo stick carved from jasper. The powerful Tao Yun made him extremely surprised. It's so lucky for you, boy, that you actually received a treasure from the ancestor, the old Taoist said in surprise. Looking at his confused look, he explained. General disciples can only get a middle-grade Yuan-Yang spiritual treasure level sapphire staff at most when they start. Only a very small number of disciples with good qualifications, high understanding, and solid foundation will win the favor of the ancestor and bestow the top-grade Yuan the sapphire staff of Yang Lingbao level. So, kid, you know how lucky you are. Disciple, thank you, Patriarch. Xia Lingyun quickly prostrated himself in front of the statue of the Patriarch again. Practice well. All disciples who are favored by the ancestor will be promoted to the inner sect more than 80% of the time, and there is even a 1 in 10,000 chance to advance to the direct line. Seeing the Patriarch's approving gaze, Xia Lingyun said quickly, disciple must practice well and live up to the treasure given by the Patriarch. I hope you can always remember what I said at this moment in the future, so that you don't waste your talent. With a wave of his hand, a light blue robe and 3 porcelain bottles flew out. I think your dean has told you this a long time ago. This robe and 3 bottles of elixirs are standard equipment for my Chongshan outer disciples. Please accept them. Thank you, Patriarch. The old man took out another jade slip and handed it over. This is my Chongshan law and the rules that new disciples must know. Take it and take a look. After Xia Lingyun took it respectfully, he glanced briefly, with a trace of worry on his face. Ancestor, can't I, a disciple of Chongshan, go down to the lower world? What, you still have unfinished business? When the disciple was practicing in the lower realm, he made 2 Taoist companions. They have not yet become immortals. Your boy will be very lucky when he comes. After a pause, in order to prevent immortals from interfering in secular affairs based on their cultivation, in theory, immortals are not allowed to go down to the lower world, but there are exceptions to everything. A situation like yours is very difficult. Normally, I can give you a warrant to take your 2 little girlfriends to heaven to practice together. Thank you, Patriarch. Xia Lingyuan was overjoyed. After waving his hand, he said, "You're welcome, I'm just telling you what I know." With a flick of his fingers, the golden bell hanging at the door rang. Not long after, a young monk wearing a blue robe flew in. "See the Patriarch. This is a new disciple. He has already finished his level. You take him down to arrange accommodation and tell him some of the conditions in the middle courtyard." "Disciple, I obey." "Junior brother, come with me." After bowing to the old man and the dean, Xia Lingguan turned around and walked out. Seeing his leaving figure, the old man turned around and said with a smile, "Boy Xiao, you are a pretty good disciple. Ling Shu is my most outstanding disciple in the 30,000 years I have been in Qingshan Lower House. He has achieved the Yuanyang immortal realm in just 300 years of practice. No wonder the Patriarch favors him." There was some envy in his tone. After slightly nodding, "You are not stupid, you know how to marry him well. With this opportunity, in the future you will not be able to survive the catastrophe, reincarnate, and rebuild, and there will be someone to guide you." Qiao Yun smiled. If he hadn't had this plan, why would he have sent him here in person if he was the dean of Yuanyang Xianxian? It should be noted that most of the new disciples who join Yuanyang fly up from the teleportation array. Qiao Yun opened his palm, and a jade box emerged. "Grand Master, I have picked a new batch of spiritual tea from my tea tree. I happened to come to see you this time and brought some over. You kid, if you put this thought into cultivation, I'm afraid you would have advanced to the Yuanyang Golden Immortal level long ago." Having said that, he still reached out and took the jade box. After opening the jade box and taking a gentle sniff, a look of intoxication appeared on his face. "Not bad, not bad, serious green tassel. As the saying goes, what goes up and what goes down works, because Su Junming likes to drink tea, and the entire Chongshan Academy disciples also like to drink tea. Therefore, many disciples who practice King Mutao like to cultivate spiritual tea to earn spiritual pills to assist their practice." After hesitating for a moment, he put the jade box away. With a slap on the gourd on his waist, a gleaming talisman flew towards Qiao Yun. "The old man knows what you are thinking. This Yuanyang meditation talisman was drawn by me myself. It can remove external demons at critical moments and increase your chances of overcoming the tribulation and becoming Tai." Qiao Yun was overjoyed and took it with both hands. "Thank you, Patriarch." "You're welcome. But there's no need to bring tea in the future. Ancestor, you." Seeing that he was worried, the old man laughed. "Don't worry, the old man is not that stingy, and he won't hate you because of this. It's just that I have passed through the great Luo heavenly tribulation a few days ago, and I will go to the Sea of Chaos to practice in the near future. Unless something unexpected happens, I will not come back again." Qiao Yun's face showed deep envy. The Sea of Chaos is a blessed place of practice built by the founder of our sect using great magic power to isolate chaos. Those who are not Deluo and Hunyuan monks have no chance to go. Congratulations to the Patriarch, you have advanced to Deluo, and you have a promising future. The old man was about to open his mouth after being itched. Boom! A thunderous thunder made the entire Chongshan world tremble and shocked countless people. The old man's expression paused for a moment, then became serious. The body transformed into escaping light and flew high into the sky like lightning. There are so many monks like him that they are so densely packed that they almost fill the sky of the Kizhu branch of Heavenly Court. "Grand Master, What's going on? Have no idea. Dong dong dong. The earth-shattering bell rang. All monks, listen to the order. The previous thunder was caused by my patriarch Chongshan. There is no need to panic. Just sit in the dojo and wait quietly. If anyone dares to take advantage of the opportunity to cause trouble, he will be thrown into the black prison according to the seriousness of the case. Don't say anything. Pre. The majestic voice gradually disappeared. The monk in mid-air was afraid of getting into trouble, so he instantly turned into a bird, beast, and mist. The reputation of the black prison has long been deeply rooted in the hearts of more than a dozen Yuanhui. That place is not meant for people. It's the voice of Patriarch Xianyuan, the old man said in surprise. The Patriarch Xianyuan who presides over the Kizhu branch of Heavenly Court and has reached the level of Deluo Jingxian. Xiao Yun was shocked. To him, true Lord Xianyuan, who presides over Kizhu Heavenly Court, is a legendary figure. When he was studying in the Central Academy of Sciences, he occasionally heard the other party preach once or twice. Just when everyone was wondering what happened, the entire world of Chongshan was enveloped by numerous calamities. Su Junming, Renwuji, Dragon Emperor, and others stood with their hands behind their hands, looking up at the huge calamity clouds in mid-air that covered billions and billions of miles. They had already seen such a scene when Hung Jun passed through the tribulation. Now it's up to them. Lord Night Demon said in the jade slip left behind that the Hongmeng True Realm, which is achieved by stacking the world, will be more difficult to grow to its peak than the Hongmeng True Realm that was opened up at once, and there is no way between the soul and the way of heaven. It is difficult to exert full power if it is truly in harmony, Renwuji said. It doesn't matter. I didn't originally plan to truly integrate with the way of heaven. Otherwise, wouldn't I be restricted by the world of Chongshan? The price of seamless integration with heaven is that you can no longer stay away from the Hongmeng True Realm that you have opened up. Su Junming, who had always planned to travel through chaos, was not willing to do this. Moreover, the process of successfully opening up the true world of Hongmeng at one time is too difficult. Pangu, who possesses the four great treasures of Hongmeng, Pangu Axe, Chaos Pearl, Good Fortune Green Lotus and Good Fortune Jade Disc, cannot avoid Taoism. Although he was escorted by Renwuji and others, he was always worried. I just want to open up a wider space for cultivation for my disciples and consolidate the foundation of Chongshan Academy. There is no need to make fun of my own life. It's good to integrate all realms and advance to Hongmeng. Boom! Mighty thunder rang out, and within a moment, the thick thunder pillar fell straight towards Chongshan world. At this moment, a huge blue-black stone ball rose into the sky, and with a flash of inspiration, it directly took the robbery into it. Su Junming is not Hung Jun. He could ignore the life and death of the creatures in the ancient world and directly let the thunder fall on the earth, but Su Junming could not do it. So in the past 10 epochs, in addition to practicing, he also cooperated with Taoist Tiangong to practice 3 treasures to withstand thunder disasters. Hunyuan stone ball is one of them. Due to lack of materials, this baby has not advanced to Hongmeng, but dozens of Yuanhui have absorbed countless chaotic auras to continuously refine it. The space inside it is dozens of times larger, and it has become stronger. Thunderbolts fell down one after another, and they were all swallowed up by the stone balls. The Hunyuan stone ball didn't just contain it, but quickly sprayed it out after eliminating the thunder's fury. Although these scattered thunders are powerful, they have lost their threat to the world. The only impact is to make the world of Chongshan thunder and lightning, which is scary to watch. Moreover, after being polished by the heavenly tribulation, many impurities that could not be erased inside the Hunyuan stone ball were completely wiped away. The spiritual materials are more refined, purer, and more compact. After this calamity, the Hunyuan stone ball will have the foundation to advance to Hongmeng, Tiangong Taoist said. Everyone nodded. After nearly 180 lightning tribulations, the Hunyuan stone ball alone was already unbearable. Su Junming made a seal with his hands, and 24 giant flags holding up the sky emerged from the void. An astonishing formation surrounded the entire Chongshan world and the chaos hundreds of times larger than the Chongshan world. Boom! The tyrannical calamity struck heavily. The two spiritual treasures were superimposed, and their power was greatly increased, blocking the catastrophe again. 181, 201, 301. The mighty thunder, like a huge ocean, fell overwhelmingly. The light shield formed by the Hunyuan stone ball and the 24 gods and demon flags, under the violent thunder, sounded like rain hitting banana trees. This is already the 336th thunder tribulation. Su Junming silently calculated in his heart. The two sects' spiritual treasures have been able to resist until now, which is enough. There is no need to continue the stalemate and push to the limit. In every world, there are three world-defining treasures. The prehistoric world is the Chaos Bell, the Tai Chi diagram and the Pangu flag, while the Chongshan world is the Hunyuan stone ball, the 24 gods and demon flags, and the 4 elephants divine pillar. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1188. Su Junming changed the seal, and 4 pillars hundreds of millions of feet high were shrouded in the aura of merit. Giant pillars that were neither gold nor jade emerged from the void. The stone pillars are respectively embossed with green dragon, white tiger, red bird, and black basalt, and the earth-shattering spiritual light reaches straight into the sky. The powerful power not only supports the heaven and earth, but is also a world-suppressing spiritual treasure and a supreme magical weapon in the world of Chongshan. Under Su Junming's urging, the 4 sacred pillars each bloomed with billions of spiritual lights, connected with each other, and formed an earth-shattering formation. This formation is integrated with the 24 Hunyuan heaven-covering formation transformed by the 24 Dushan gods and demon flags, and the Hunyuan stone balls. The 3 merged into one, and the once trembling barrier of the barrier became stable again. 337, 340, 350, 360. In the blink of an eye, there were only 5 tribulation thunders left. Su Junming and the 8 others stared at the thunder clouds in mid-air. Because they didn't see the last scene of Hung Jun's tribulation, they didn't know the details of the last few tribulation thunders. But what is certain is that each of the last 5 tribulation thunders is stronger and more dangerous than the last. 361. The originally light purple thunder eyes gradually turned into light red. Su Junming's face suddenly changed, and he felt Hungman's flavor from it. Boom! Along with the shocking thunder, a thunder calamity thousands of meters thick fell down. Although compared to the huge world of mountains, the thunder is just a drizzle. But the power of thunder is not bad at all. Accompanied by earth-shattering roars and dazzling auras, the thousands-foot-long red thunder was like a giant spear falling from the sky, almost piercing through the thick shield of the formation. The violent trembling formation made Su Junming's heart tremble. Road 362 is still the light red Hongmeng thunder. The diameter of the thunder that fell was no longer 10,000 feet, but 100,000 feet in diameter. The power has increased exponentially. On the 363rd track, the diameter of the Crimson Thunder became 1 million feet. The shield formed by the 3 sects' spiritual treasures was already shaking violently, and the light was even a little scattered. It was obvious that it was on the verge of reaching its limit. "Boss, something is not good." Suda's tone was full of worry. Su Junming looked solemn, watching the thunder rolling in the sky, and subconsciously clenched his fists. "Take a deep breath. Don't be nervous, you can still block it." Not only to comfort Renwuji, but also to comfort himself. Boom! The majestic crimson Hongmeng divine thunder struck down. As expected, the calamity thunder expanded tenfold again this time, reaching tens of millions of feet. Bang bang bang! The earth-shaking crimson thunder instantly penetrated the three major formation shields. But the power was also reduced by half, and the Hunyuan stone ball instantly caught up with it and directly absorbed the remaining thunder. Visible to the naked eye, the rich indigo divine light burst out, and all the restrictions of the Hunyuan stone ball were mobilized, trying their best to suppress the red thunder inside. The two were in a stalemate for a moment, but in the end, the Hunyuan stone ball suppressed the weakened thunder tribulation. But looking at the dim light, it obviously consumes a lot. Rumble. The sound of thunder, which was shaped like a bull's roar but billions of times louder, shook the boundless chaos. The billowing energy of chaos was sucked in crazily. The rapidly rotating thunder clouds turned the rich chaotic energy into powerful thunder element. Although the crimson thunder eye in the middle is much smaller than before, the thunder inside is stronger. Feeling the increasingly powerful meaning of destruction, Su Junming, Renwuji, Long Di, Ao Tian, Su De, Chen Xianzang, Tiangong Taoist, and Pan Tuo, none of them spoke. The closer it gets to the critical moment, the more silent it becomes. The thunder eye, which had been accumulated to the extreme, instantly transformed into a majestic and powerful divine pattern that seemed to contain all the secrets of thunder. At this moment when the divine pattern appears, a crimson light enveloped billions of miles of chaos. Hundreds of millions of thunder pillars instantly penetrated the sky and the earth. At this moment, it seemed as if the entire chaos was sealed. There was no sound at all, just my own breathing and heartbeat. Tension, endless tension. I don't know how much time has passed. Maybe eons. Boom. The roar, like the first opening of heaven and earth, broke this suffocating tranquility. The bursting thunder was like an angry bull, instantly tearing apart the formation shield with unimaginable destructive power. The Hunyuan stone ball was like a warrior facing death, swallowing up the rest of the thunder. But this time it didn't defeat its opponents like before. The rolling red thunder was like an angry volcano, with a shocking power, tearing into pieces this important treasure that had accompanied Su Junming and others for more than 20 yuan hui. Stepping on the flesh and blood of the Hunyuan stone ball, the red thunder flew straight towards the world of Chongshan. Roar, ouch, boom, boom. Along with the earth-shattering roar, billions of green dragons, white tigers, red birds, and Suanwu soared into the sky. They are the four elephant divine pillars and the barriers to the Hunyuan world in Chongshan. For a moment, there were thunders and roars of beasts that shook the sky. After several rounds of consumption, the powerful thunder energy gradually disappeared. The four scarred divine beasts were transformed into four giant pillars again, but there were traces of raging thunder all over them, especially the Suzaku Lord, with a huge crack that almost cut her off. Fortunately, it didn't break. Otherwise, Chongshan Hunyuan world would be in big trouble. The 365 world-destroying catastrophes have finally passed. The mighty thunder calamity transformed into rolling spiritual energy, pouring down like a waterfall. Like a wheat field that had dried up for a long time, the Chongshan world was nourished by this spiritual energy and instantly became full of vitality. Looking at the rapidly expanding world, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Nana, it's finally over. I almost scared the second master to death just now. Renwuji breathed fragrance to express the tension in his heart. The rest of the people were not much better than him. Even Su Junming had white hair on his back. Fortunately, everything is over. The usually indifferent Dragon Emperor also showed deep joy in his words. Second brother, you and eighth child went to greet the guests. After all, we have been waiting for such a long time. Don't let people say that we don't know how to treat guests, Su Junming said calmly. If he doesn't understand, I will definitely let him understand our Chongshan way of hospitality. The second brother has agreed that if there is a fight, he must leave it to me, Pan Tuo said. You can wait until you catch up with me. A ray of yin and yang spiritual light disappeared instantly, extremely fast. Haha, Master Ba is still afraid of you. Pan Tuo swayed and transformed into 1,000 billion-foot Dharma body in an instant. With one big step, he was transformed into infinite chaos. The two of them hurried as fast as they could and quickly disappeared into the billowing chaotic aura. A dozen yuan will come down. Among the 8 of them, only Renwuji, Chen Xianzang, and Pan Tuo survived the Hongmeng heavenly tribulation and advanced to the realm of the Supreme Being. The remaining ones, Su Junming, Long Di, Ao Tian, Suda, and Tiangong Taoist, have not yet broken through. It's not that they are not cultivated enough, but that their natal spiritual treasures have not yet reached the Hongmeng spiritual treasure level and they dare not break through rashly. Renwuji, because his natal spiritual treasures, the Yin-Yang Great Mill and the Qian Kun Dual Swords, were originally spiritual treasures of the same attribute, they simply merged them into one and became the natal spiritual treasures of the 3 Hongmeng spiritual forbidden states. He used this to survive the catastrophe and achieve greatness. Hongmeng. Chen Xianzang finally gave up on the broken night demon Zayu spiritual fork, and instead let the red lotus of cause and effect swallow the spiritual energy of the giant arm of destruction, so that all the people could survive the catastrophe. Pan Tuo had the best luck. Pangu Axe and Chaos Bell advanced to Hongmeng at the same time, and he also owned 2 Hongmeng spiritual treasures. The wealth level is second only to Su Junming. In contrast, the Dragon Emperor did not use the 5 elements sword to practice his great 5 elements divine light. As a natal spiritual treasure, the latter did not break through the Hongmeng, and he never tried to overcome the tribulation. Ao Tian's 3 talents divine needle is a killing spirit treasure. It is spiritually incompatible with his natal spiritual treasure Emperor's seal, and cannot be forcibly cultivated. He can only slowly absorb the spiritual energy and nurture it, so naturally he does not dare to cross it. Tribulation. The most unexpected thing is Suda. With this guy's greed, he would definitely advance to Hongmeng early. Unexpectedly, he could endure it and did not use the God's Tower to replenish the sky-swallowing jar. Obviously, he also wanted to endure it for a while, and then get to Hongmeng Lingbao. Tiangong Taoist's Chaos Green Lotus is a spiritual root, not a spiritual treasure, and cannot be fused. His 2 natal spiritual treasures, the Tiangong Divine Furnace and the Creation Divine Hammer, can only slowly absorb spiritual energy and advance little by little. This old turtle is not impatient. Anyway, Renwuji, Chen Xianzang and Pan Tuo are already supporting him in front, so he is not under too much pressure and can just practice step by step. This is also the reason why Su Junming didn't break through. Although he swallowed the bodies and souls of 2 Hongmeng masters, plus a piece of Swanyan spiritual material, and the broken night demon Zayu spirit fork, it only made 4 gourds. Advanced Hongmeng. The remaining 9 are still a little short of heat. Of course, if Calabash Vine hadn't advanced to Hongmeng, and the speed of absorbing and refining spiritual energy had increased hundreds of times, it wouldn't have been as simple as just missing the fire. According to the etiquette, 4 Hongmeng gourds are enough for him to survive the catastrophe. But since I am a martial arts practitioner, it is also good to be cautious. Anyway, the immeasurable calamity has subsided, and with Renwuji and the others supporting him, there is no need for him to rush to improve his strength. At this moment, Chongshan world has absorbed the rich fundamental energy of creation that was rewarded by the Great Dao after surviving the catastrophe. The area of Chongshan world has directly expanded by 10,000 times. Its vastness is beyond description. To fill such a large space, even if the human race could have children, hundreds of yuan would still be needed. Moreover, the more people there are, the more powerful people there are. The more people can refine the chaos spiritual energy in the sea of chaos and benefit the world. Chongshan world will also grow further. It is foreseeable that for thousands of yuan, or even longer, he will no longer worry about the large number of people and the small space in Chongshan world. It's not just Chongshan world that is growing. Ouch, roar. A strong spiritual light rose into the sky. Along with the earth-shattering roar, the four divine beasts, Qinglong, Suzaku, White Tiger, and Suanwuo, expanded rapidly and became larger and larger. Within a moment, they had already transformed into billions of feet. Just a giant pillar, its size exceeds the size of thousands of previous medieval Hunyuan worlds. The huge four elephants divine pillar makes the world of Chongshan extremely stable. The space has become tougher, and even if the Hunyuan Golden Immortal is perfect, it will no longer be easy to break through it without using a magic weapon. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1189. The concentration of spiritual energy has become higher, and it has increased 10,000 times. In a dense aura environment, people's physical fitness will continue to increase. But the inertia of spiritual energy has increased, and if we imagine before, it is impossible for a single Taoist technique to cause great changes in the celestial phenomena thousands of miles away. In addition, after being promoted to the lower-level Hongmeng world, it can accommodate more cultivators, and even the supreme Hongmeng can practice in it. It's not just the four elephant divine pillars that have changed. The 24 capital heavenly divine flags, which have been designated by Su Junming as one of the three world-suppressing artifacts, have also taken a step further under the rich aura of creation to become the pinnacle of the three Hongmeng spiritual restrictions. Low-grade Hongmeng Lingbao. As it advances, the area of the Chaos Sea also increases greatly. The 10,000 times gain made the Sea of Chaos, which originally seemed a bit crowded, instantly become empty. Moreover, the 24 chaos covering the sky formation is used to gather spirits, so the concentration of chaos energy here is better than the chaos outside. Billions of giant flags holding up the sky are like huge black worlds, firmly protecting the mountainous world in the middle. At the same time, it also made the huge world of Chongshan invisible. Unless the other party's deduction method can surpass Su Junming, who has been blessed by the Dian Divine Mirror, there is no way he can discover the existence of Chongshan world. This possibility is very slim. After all, the Dian Divine Mirror is a top-grade Hongmeng spiritual treasure with 12 levels of restraints. There must be spiritual treasures that can rival it in the entire chaos, but there are definitely not many. Among the few top-quality Hongmeng spiritual treasures, even fewer have the ability to deduce and detect. Boom! The Hunyuan stone ball that was destroyed by the catastrophe was quickly repaired. It can be seen with the naked eye that the surface constructed by the Chaos God stone has become denser, and the color is no longer black, but has turned into an extremely thick green color, as if it has experienced endless years of precipitation. Complex restrictions, layer after layer, are like dense fishing nets, covering the entire stone ball. The already huge internal space is also expanding rapidly. About a quarter of an hour later, it was half the size of Chongshan world. Of course, if Su Junming completely practices the Hunyuan stone ball with space methods, its internal space will become even larger. But compared to a larger space, the Hunyuan stone ball is more useful for defense, gathering spirits, and invisibility. Disappeared. How could it be possible that it disappeared? A young monk with a long sword on his back looked at the huge world that disappeared directly in front of him in shock, unable to regain his consciousness. It seems that the true Lord Chongshan you are talking about is indeed not an easy person. The old man wearing a navy blue robe, with fair hair and a childlike face, high cheekbones and sharp eyes said slowly. Teacher, my disciple's middle-grade Hongmeng Lingbao jade slip was lost in this world. The young monk carrying a long sword said quickly. The old man in green robe nodded slowly, with a hint of hesitation on his face. He accepted this disciple before 2 Yuanhui meetings. Although he was not considered a disciple of Yubo, he still valued him very much. More importantly, he confided in himself the news about a mid-grade Hongmeng Lingbao. This was a mid-grade Hongmeng spiritual treasure. If he could obtain it, he would be able to escape unharmed even if he faced the great master Hongmeng. And according to what his disciple said, the people who got this treasure were just a group of Hunyuan golden immortals. He was just a Hunyuan golden immortal, and he could only be crushed in front of Hongmeng Shangzun like him. Of course, the clues about the middle-grade Hongmeng Lingbao were of immeasurable value. If his disciple had not described it in great detail, and he had also used secret methods to verify that the other party was not lying, he would not have really brought the other party here with him. But something unexpected was that he took this cheap apprentice and wandered in the chaos he directed for tens of millions of years, but he still failed to find the whereabouts of the world he mentioned. Just when he was about to give up, the other party appeared. But the mighty calamity aura made him retreat as fast as his butt was on fire, for fear that Dao would think that he was interfering with the world's calamity. Too many ignorant Hongmeng experts have suffered this kind of loss. Many people even died because of this. Seeing a world advance into the Hongmeng true realm in front of him is a rare opportunity for any Hunyuan realm monk to understand the Taoism and improve his Taoism. But the old man felt terrible. With this Hongmeng true realm as a basis, even he wouldn't dare to break into it. Otherwise, even if the heavenly Dao of Hongmeng true realm cannot kill him, it will still seriously injure him. But the temptation of a mid-grade Hongmeng Lingbao made it difficult for him to leave. His expression changed, he turned around and shouted angrily. "Who? Come out. You old man is so alert." As they talked and laughed, a boy who looked 3 or 4 years old was wearing a red vest, braids, and a gold collar. But monks never judge their strength based on appearance and age, especially the boy in front of him. Although his cultivation has not been revealed throughout his life, the old man instantly felt the same kind of aura from him. What shocked him even more was that the tall man next to him, who was about 10 feet tall and had a giant axe on his shoulders, was not bad at all. 2 great lords. For a moment, the old man became extremely alert. In the lower world of Jamfu realm, I respect the heavenly punishment. Do you know the names of these 2 fellow Taoists? When Lord Tianxing spoke, he was keenly aware of the trembling body of the cheap disciple next to him, and he became increasingly vigilant. Do you know them? Hearing the message, the young man carrying the sword trembled in consciousness. They are all monks from Chongshan Academy. Lord Tianxing's pupils narrowed slightly. Are you sure? Absolutely. The disciples of Chongshan Academy all have gourds hanging on their waists, and the colors are different for each generation. Only disciples of the first generation are qualified to wear green gourds. Lord Tianxing looked subconsciously. Sure enough, there was a green gourd hanging from a gold rope around their waists. The mysterious Taoist rhyme shows that this is a top-grade Hunyuan spiritual treasure. So you are the Supreme Lord of Heavenly Punishment, Pan Tuo asked. Fellow Taoist, do you know the old Taoist? Haha, during the last immeasurable calamity, we captured a guy named Shen Ni. He claimed to be your registered disciple. A strong figure suddenly appeared in the heart of Lord Tianxing, his eyes flickering slightly. Fellow Taoists have misunderstood. The old Taoist preached many times in the Jambudvi realm, and the listeners used to regard themselves as his named disciples. This is not the case. He, that's good. Renwuji stretched out his hand and pointed, this son's name is Hung Jun, and he is my great enemy in Chongshan. My Taoist friend came with him, but to stand up for him. Of course not. Lord Tianxing shook his head quickly. He has many disciples, but he is not willing to offend 2 Hongmeng Shangzun for the sake of a non-direct disciple who can only start 2 Yuan Hui. Not long after the son joined my sect, he lied to the old Taoists saying that he had a clue to a middle-grade Hongmeng Lingbao that he wanted to offer to me, so I followed him here to look for it. I didn't expect that the son had bad intentions and deliberately provoked conflict between me and my 2 fellow Taoists. The disapproval is really hateful. Before Hung Jun could even think of escaping, he was captured by Lord Tianxing and sent directly to Renwuji and Pan Tuo. I have captured this animal and sent it to 2 fellow Taoists for disposal. Renwiji was a little surprised by this man's decisiveness. After patting the gourd and putting away Hung Jun's corpse, he said, "My fellow Taoist is coming from afar, why don't you come and sit in my Taoist temple? Pandeo has been out for a long time and is preparing to go back. I'll wait until next time to visit. Farewell." After a slap in the face, his body turned into light and disappeared in an instant. Looking at the retreating light, Renwiji hesitated and said, "Old BA, are we scary to look at?" "BA, yes, head must be scary, but that's not necessarily the case for you. Gun gun gun, do you think that Mr. Scene was an ordinary person that day, and you still have to judge the outcome of a fight? Then why do you think he ran?" "Of course I was scared away by the second master's profound cultivation," Renwiji said proudly. "Just you? A little guy who has just entered Hongmeng. In terms of cultivation, you are not as good as others. Aren't you the same? Don't forget, you advanced after me, the second master. If Pangu Axe and Chaos Clock hadn't delayed their advancement into Hongmeng, the eighth master would have already advanced to the realm of Hongmeng. He, for all the reasons, the second master is the first Hongmeng realm expert in the Chongshan section." Without giving Pan Tuo a chance to refute, he suddenly had a flash of inspiration and disappeared in an instant. At the same time, Supreme Lord Tianxing, who had been hundreds of millions of miles away, stopped for a moment to escape the light and stared at the churning chaos behind him. He activated his secret method and felt it silently for a moment. He did not notice anything strange before he breathed a sigh of relief. The reason why he ditched Hung Jun regardless of his face and then fled. It wasn't that he was afraid of the two Hongmeng masters Renwiji and Pan Tuo, but the middle-grade Hongmeng spiritual treasure he wanted to find. From Hung Jun's words, he knew that this Hongmeng Lingbao was real. After all, he had never been in charge of this kind of Lingbao. He could not hide it from him by just making up his words. But what he didn't expect was that this middle-grade Hongmeng spiritual treasure was not in the hands of a group of Hunyuan golden immortals at all, but in the hands of two Hongmeng masters. The two Hongmeng masters mobilized the middle-grade Hongmeng spiritual treasures, which were enough to resist the Hongmeng master, and he, a being of the same realm, was definitely no match. The powerful spiritual treasure is of great help to the monks. Knowing that his opponent possesses such a spiritual treasure and refuses to deal with him because of his disciples' affairs, if he doesn't run away quickly, he would be either stupid or foolish. His heavenly punishment is not this kind of thing. It's a pity. If I can get the jade plate of good fortune, I will definitely be able to sweep through the Jamfu realm and become the supreme being in the world. I can't say that I will have the hope of becoming a great master in the future." His face was full of regret and unwillingness. But no matter how much he was reluctant to give up, he did not dare to go to the world of Chongshan to fight for it. A true world plus a middle-grade Hongmeng Lingbao. This combination made even the great master afraid. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1190. Chapter 1169 The True Realm of Jambudvipa, the Three Supreme Beings. Boss, we are back. With a slap on the gourd on his waist, Hung Jun's corpse flew out. This is the corpse of old man Hung Jun. He was unwilling to have the jade dish of creation taken away by us, so he encouraged old man Tianxing from the real world of Jamfu to come here to seek our misfortune. I just didn't expect that old man has no backbone. Look at me and him. As soon as Bai showed up, he took the initiative to leave Mr. Hung Jun behind and ran away alone. Renwiji poured the beans out of the bamboo tube and roughly told the whole story. Su Junming looked at Hung Jun, who looked dull and had been completely sealed, holding the corpse. He stretched out his hand and slowly flew in front of him. Raise your right hand to cover the other person's forehead. Search for souls. With his current soul Dao cultivation, searching for soul Hung Jun is a piece of cake. He was not very interested in the events of the past and basically brushed them by. He finally took a look at Hung Jun's practice method. The so-called technique of killing 3 corpses, I finally know what is going on. As he thought, the techniques of killing 3 corpses practiced by Sanking, Nuwa and others were all castrated and inferior. The real technique of killing 3 corpses is similar to his 7-soul true body magical power. The 3 corpses not only have independent souls, but also have their own fundamental ways. Even if the original body dies, they can still survive with the help of their clones. Just like Hung Jun understood the yin and yang Dao as his own body. The evil corpse who died at the hands of Sanking majored in the 5 elements Dao. The Taoist Xiantian who died at the hands of the Dragon Emperor was also Hung Jun's good corpse and majored in the Dao of creation. And this corpse bearer majored in swordsmanship. The main body and the 3 corpses each have their own avenues, and the cunning rabbit has 4 holes. As long as one of them survives, he will not die. It's a pity that he met Su Junming, who was more proficient in this way than him and was accompanied by valuable treasures. After seeing Hung Jun's skills, and looking back, a huge world gradually appeared in Su Junming's mind. The atmosphere was similar to the Chongshan world, and he instantly understood that this was the true world of Jambudvipa that he had heard about many times. In terms of size, if the Sea of Chaos is not included, the Jamfu True Realm is about twice the size of the Chongshan True Realm. However, unlike the Chongshan Realm, which is divided into 6 parts by ocean and 4 parts by land, the Jambudvi realm has only 3 parts by ocean and the remaining 7 parts by land. Such a composition will inevitably make most of the land in Jambu realm dry and desolate. However, the main race in this world is in existence called the Sand Clan. This is a kind of snake-tailed creature that is extremely drought-tolerant. They are born with the ability to escape from the earth, and can penetrate the ground to find water sources. They can drink water for half a month. It is precisely because of this characteristic that they have become the largest number of existences in this world, and have become the main race in the true world of Yanfu. It is said that the Supreme Master of Jambudvipa who founded the true world of Jambudvipa is a member of the Sha tribe. In addition to the Sand Clan, there are the Human Clan and the Night Demon Clan. The human race lives on the plains on the edge of the rivers, lakes, and oceans in the Jambudvi realm, while the Night Demon race lives in the ocean. Speaking of which, the Night Demon Clan should be considered a demon clan. It's just that they are called night demons in the real world of Jambudvipa. The human race is protected by the Supreme Lord of Heavenly Punishment, while the Night Demon Clan is protected by the Supreme Lord of the Night Demon. In addition to these 3 major races, there are other races in the Jamfu realm, but their numbers are limited and there are not many strong ones. They only survive in the cracks between the 3 major races. This stable pattern has lasted for hundreds of yuanhui. However, in recent years, the news of the death of Lord Night Demon has spread, causing the world of Jambudvipa to become undercurrents. Many tribes in the ocean want to overthrow the rule of the Night Demons and become the new overlord. Of course, no one would dare to take action until the news was confirmed to be true or false. However, it is foreseeable that there will be a turmoil in the Jamfu realm next. After gaining a general understanding of the real world of Jamfu through Hung Jun's memory of holding the corpse, Su Junming conveniently threw him to Chen Xianzang. Don't leave any trouble behind. Originally, he had no intention of killing Hung Jun, but he was so ignorant and still thinking about the treasure in his hand that he couldn't bear it anymore. Hung Jun endured more than a dozen Yuanhui sessions before going to become a disciple, so he didn't want to sleep on it again. He has used this time to recover all 3 of his corpses. With a way out, he dared to take risks. After all, the uncertainty of exposing a mid-grade Hongmeng Lingbao is too strong. What if after Tianxin Shangzun obtained the treasure, instead of rewarding him, he killed him and kept it a secret? What if things don't go well while searching for the treasure? Only by having a retreat can accidents be prevented. However, with Chen Xuanzang's magical power of cause and effect, no matter how many clones he has, it is difficult to escape. You didn't cherish your life last time, so don't blame me for being cruel. He shook his head and stopped caring about Hung Jun. With everyone's current magical powers, he is dead. Letting go of the memory gained from Hung Jun's sea of consciousness, the others also saw the scene Su Junming saw in an instant. I didn't expect that the Yanfu realm would be like this. The Sand Clan don't look very smart. Renwuji clicked his tongue. No, the important point is ugliness. Look at those big donkey faces. They can be as ugly as you want, Suda said. Lao Wu, what's your look? Is that a donkey's face? That's obviously a camel's face. But you're right about one thing, it's really ugly. Too lazy to pay attention to these two boring guys, Su Junming reached out and grabbed them. The Hunyuan stone ball flew out from the 24 chaos covering the sky formation. The body size expanded accordingly, turning into billions of feet in an instant, almost equivalent to half of the Chongshan True Realm. However, in front of the even larger 24 chaotic sky shielding formations, it was like a small satellite, rotating around it. Boss, why did you take out the Hunyuan stone ball? Renwuji said. The Hunyuan stone ball has absorbed too much chaos spiritual energy. If we continue in the sea of chaos, most of the chaos spiritual energy will be absorbed by us, affecting the cultivation of our disciples. Forming a seal with both hands, the Hunyuan stone ball shook and gradually moved away from the true world of Chongshan. Of course, it's not really leaving, it's just a far enough distance. It's like a distant planet orbiting around the central star. The next moment, the earth-shattering power of swallowing spread out, and the billowing energy of chaos was swallowed up like a furious wave. Let's go back and take a look. Expectation showed on everyone's faces, and with a step, the space channel appeared, and everyone flew into it, and instantly came to the true world of Chongshan. Looking down, I saw thousands of miles of mountains and rivers, picturesque scenery, and great beauty. What a rich spiritual energy. Ao Tian sighed. It's at least thousands of times richer than before, Chen Xianzang agreed. He, so there can be countless more scalpers in the sea of chaos, who will fight for the growth of Chongshan world all their lives, Renwuji said. Hearing what he said, everyone had smiles on their faces. After the accumulation of dozens of Yuanhui, there are now more than 1 million monks in the Hunyuan realm in the Chaos Sea, and there are billions of monks in the Deluo realm. Thanks to these people working day and night, Chongshan world was able to accumulate the foundation to advance to Hongmeng in more than a dozen Yuanhui. Now, as the Hongmeng True Realm grows, the number of monks in the Sea of Chaos will increase tenfold and 100-fold. The development of Chongshan Zhenjia will also be on the fast track. Boss, now that Chongshan world has advanced, there is abundant power of heaven and earth for you to control. In this case, it is better to capture all the shadow realms derived from the prehistoric world and Chongshan world, which can not only strengthen our Chongshan world, lest they lose their future and be directly destroyed by the giant beast of destruction, Pan Tuo said. In this case, wouldn't our 8th patriarch of Chongshan become the 16th patriarch, or the 24th patriarch, Suda said. We are originally in the shadow world. If you have more people, you are the boss, Renwuji said. Su Junming shook his head. There may not be a shadow world in Chongshan. Compared with the hundreds of Yuanhui in the prehistoric world from the beginning, to the ancient times, to ancient times and the Middle Ages, the time of more than 30 Yuanhui in Chongshan realm is too short. It is so short that it is difficult to reincarnate in the shadow world. After all, the world of Chongshan has never happened in the ancient times of the ancient times. The war between the human race and the wild beast race in the early days has never happened. Such a major event that fundamentally changed the situation of the world. If the journey is smooth, it will be difficult for the shadow world to arise. The same goes for capturing the ancient shadow world. After all, there are many outstanding people in the ancient world, such as the 12 ancestral witches, Dong Huang Tai, Emperor Jun, the 3 emperors of the ancient human race, the clan leaders of the ancient times, and the gods and demons of the Taoist era. If it weren't for Hong Jun deliberately instigated, and many of them can be promoted to Hunyuan Golden Immortal. It is impossible to say that a few Hongmeng realm will be produced, Tiangong Taoists said. That's true. But the 3 pure ones meet the 3 pure ones, and the 2 saints of the West meet the 2 saints of the West. I wonder what the situation will be like. I'm really looking forward to it, Ren Wuji said with a smile. The 3 Qings might start a fight. Ji Yinzunti must be extremely happy. We finally have 2 more allies, Suda said. My dear, if you do this, Hung Jun will also return, the Dragon Emperor said in a solemn voice. It doesn't matter, just destroy it, Su Junming said calmly. Because of the relationship between the creation jade disk, Hung Jun, and them will never coexist. Therefore, he could allow Sheni, Daihuang clan, and Renhuang clan to live. But Hung Jun will not be allowed to live. Then let's do it now, I can't wait, Ren Wuji geared up. Su Junming waved his hand. Wait a minute. The cultivators are still studying the Tao principles. It won't be too late to take action after they wake up. The world of Chongshan has advanced to the true world, and the laws of heaven and earth have become manifest. For any creature in the world of Chongshan, this is a rare opportunity to understand the great path. Of course no one wants to miss it. Thank you to the book friends, take your time, don't rush. Cheng Fenji and Yal still for each giving 100 starting coins. Thank you very much. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1191. In the vast sea of chaos, spiritual roots of various colors, large and small, with different heights and different auras, stood proudly in it. As the aura flashed, the billowing energy of chaos was absorbed and refined, transforming into thick innate aura. Some of them were kept for storage, while the other part of it was poured into the huge teleportation array and introduced into the world of Chongshan. The strong innate spiritual energy precipitates at the bottom of the spiritual roots and will gradually turn into various spiritual liquids. After accumulating for a long time, lakes of different sizes will be formed. Therefore, over the years, the size of Spirit Lake has become a new standard for measuring the strength of Chaos-y monks. But even knowing the strength and weakness is of little use. Chongshan Academy suppresses the world, and anyone who dares to stab will be directly suppressed. Those who are good will be imprisoned for a few years, those who do not wink will be imprisoned for the rest of their lives. During the immeasurable calamity, when the worlds had just merged, there were still monks who relied on their own secret methods to do some business without capital. But no matter how secretly you do it, after you are dug out and suppressed without reservation, no one dares to show up. If you really want to distinguish between life and death, there is a life and death challenge in the sea of chaos, and you can fight it however you want. However, such idiots are rare after all. Most monks enjoy this safe and spiritually rich environment. They practice hard, and when they have accumulated more gong, they invite monks who practice the same path to preach for them. Or go to Kongshan Fang City to buy elixirs, magic weapons, or spiritual roots. To be free and at ease is the way of immortality. It is precisely this peaceful and stable environment that has allowed the world of Chongshan to usher in a prosperous era of spiritual practice. Hunyuan realm monks have emerged in endlessly, far exceeding the peak of the prehistoric era. The stable environment also allowed the birth of places of great reputation in the Chaos Sea, large and small. In addition to the dojo of the second-generation disciples of Chongshan Academy, Kunlun Mountain, Huangshan Temple, Taisha Sea, Giant Spirit Sea, and Mount Sumi are all famous places. And every place is the headquarters of a large faction, or the territory of a giant clan. Among them, Kunlun Mountain is the most famous. He interprets the 3 religions, accepts disciples without being restricted to tribes, and is open to all rivers, so there are many talented people in his teachings. Without Hung Jun's deliberate suppression, the 12 golden immortals entered the capital and were promoted to the Hunyuan realm, as did the direct disciples of Ji Xiao. After more than a dozen Yuanhui came down, the 3 Qing dynasties each advanced to Hunyuan golden immortal. In the Sanking Palace that was transformed from Yugzi Palace. The Taishang, Yuanji, and Tongtian treasures are solemn, with misty clouds overhead, and 3 large lotus flowers shining brightly. Below, the disciples are arranged in order of entry, each meditating and comprehending. I don't know how much time passed, but Taishang was the first to wake up. Feeling the progress of Taoism, a satisfied smile appeared on his face. Turning his head to look at the disciples below who were still immersed in enlightenment, there was a hint of relief in his smile. During the immeasurable calamity, although the goal of taking charge of the prehistoric world was not achieved, the 2 brothers truly let go of their estrangement. When I came to the world of Chongshan, I saw many beings with higher cultivation levels than myself, as well as the Desolate Beast clan, the Taishu human clan, the Giant Spirit clan, and the Chongshan Academy Queen whose strength was far beyond my own. Under huge external pressure, the 3 religions of Renja Ichan finally began to unite and became Taoism. The disciples who originally belonged to the 3 sects of Renji Chan were all disrupted and reordered according to the order of entry. In addition, Tongtian also paid attention to the character of his disciples under his and Yuanji's persuasion, and more than 90% of the registered disciples were eliminated. After some reorganization, the number of Taoist disciples was greatly reduced, but the remaining elites made rapid progress in a stable environment. In just a dozen Yuanhui time, almost most of the second-generation disciples have achieved Hunyuan. But thinking about the development of Chongshan Academy, most of the joy in Taishang's heart disappeared. Up to now, Taoism has given up comparing itself with Chongshan. The 2 sides are no longer on the same level. Brother. Yuanji and Tongtian also woke up. 2 worthy brothers, can you gain something from this? Haha, I'll tell you the truth, big brother, this time I have made great progress in swordsmanship, and with at most 3 or 4 Yuanhui, I can break through to the Hongmeng realm. Very good. Second brother, how about you? Me too. Yuanji was excited, he was making great progress, and everything was in sight. What could be more exciting than this? Eldest brother, second brother, when we advance to Hongmeng, we will leave this mountain world and open up a world that truly belongs to me, the 3 pure ones, Tongtian said excitedly. Advancing to Hongmeng is no small matter. In addition to Taoism, you also need to advance to the level of natal spiritual treasures, Taishang said. Yuanji and Tongtian remembered what they had learned when they listened to the 8th patriarch of Chongshan explain the Hongmeng Dao last time at Kixuan Cliff in Chongshan, Zixiao Cliff, and their hearts sank slightly. Don't worry, brother, as long as we advance to the Taoist level, and then use the chaotic spiritual energy to nourish our natal spiritual treasures, sooner or later we will advance to Hongmeng, Tongtian said in a deep voice. What the 3rd brother said is true, Yuanji agreed. I feel relieved that you 2 worthy brothers can think so. As long as you and I, the 3 of us, are neither arrogant nor impetuous, and practice hard, we will advance to Hongmeng sooner or later. After a pause, the Supreme Being floated up. The disciples are not awake yet, let them realize the Tao here. The 3 of you and I will go out and see what the Chongshan realm will look like after advancing to Hongmeng. Yuanji and Tongtian stood up with expectations on their faces. They all saw with their own eyes the great movement of thunder rolling between heaven and earth just now. The world expanded rapidly after the advancement, and they also got the benefits of manifesting the laws of the Great Avenue. Naturally, I want to see with my own eyes the difference between the Hongmeng world and the Hunyuan world. After leaving the Sanking Hall, you will reach the Kunlun Mountains, which are hundreds of millions of feet high. When they first came to the Sea of Chaos, they pulled Kunlun Mountain out of the wilderness and brought it here. On the top of the mountain, a huge jujube tree sucked in the chaotic spiritual energy around it. On both sides of it, there is a pine tree and an iron sword spiritual tree. Although not as tall as the jujube tree, they have stronger aura and richer Taoist charm than those spiritual roots halfway up the mountain. The jujube tree belongs to Yuanqi, the pine tree belongs to Taizhang, and the iron sword spirit tree belongs to Tongtian. The former is the top quality innate spiritual root Huozao that Yuanqi obtained in the prehistoric times, while the latter two were chosen by Yuanqi and Taizhang from the many acquired top quality spiritual roots provided by Chongshan Academy after arriving in the Sea of Chaos, which are more suitable for their own path spiritual roots. These many spiritual roots absorb and transform the chaotic spiritual energy, making the entire Kunlun Mountains covered with Kiwao grass, waterfalls, and springs, and rare and exotic animals. It is indeed a scene of the finest fairyland. Hateful. Tongtian's angry voice attracted the attention of Taizhang and Yuanqi. Eldest brother, second brother, look at your Chongshan Pan, our debt has increased again. The two of them were shocked. They reached out and made a move. Two spiritual lights flew from the top of the mountain and quickly landed 3 feet in front of them. The light dissipated, revealing a blue stone plate that was 3 inches in diameter and 3 inches thick, emitting a faint aura. The surface of the stone plate is like a bright mirror, and the light can discern people. The two of them flicked their fingers. A line of numbers manifests. Taishang's is 23, Yuanqi's is 12. The two men saw this and their expressions changed drastically. It should be noted that just a month ago, the two of them still had more than 100 million hard work on Chongshan Pan, but now almost all of them have been deducted. In addition, because you meditate every day and work hard to collect spiritual energy, you can achieve success in one day. Therefore, the monks from various schools in the Chaos Sea who are not disciples of Chongshan Academy call Gong hard work. Brother, we can't just let this matter go. Let's go to Kixuanya Chongshan Hall to find out. Yuanqi's tone was full of anger. Yes, brother. Doesn't Chongshan Academy guarantee that all factions will be treated fairly and will not be bullied wantonly? Now that they have broken their promise, we cannot allow them to bully us. Tongtian was also indignant. After thinking for a moment, the Supreme Being shook his head. No need to look for it, they do have a reason to deduct our hard work. Yuanqi and Tongtian were also smart people. They were stunned for a moment and quickly came to their senses. That's right. They have just been promoted to the world and have made great progress in their Taoism. According to Chongshan Academy's nature of demanding money, their hard work will indeed be deducted. But it's too much. It took us a polyamorous association to save hard work. Tongtian was indignant. It seems that in people's minds, we are just fish on the chopping board, ready to be slaughtered by them. Yuanqi's eyes were cold and his words were filled with anger. The Supreme Being sighed. This time we have made great progress in Taoism, so we are not at a disadvantage. The strength of Chongshan Academy is getting stronger and stronger, not to mention the dozens of disciples at the Hunyuan Golden Immortal level. This time Chongshan world has advanced to Hongmeng, and its strength has greatly increased again. Compared with them, their Taoism is like a mayfly shaking a big tree, not an opponent at the same level at all. Even if they can advance to Hongmeng, the dozens of Hunyuan Golden Immortals from the second generation of Chongshan sect will only advance to the level of Grand Master Hongmeng. Unless there is a great opportunity, he can't see the slightest possibility of resistance among hundreds of Yuanhui. In addition, the 8 patriarchs of Chongshan Academy, including Su Junming, would regularly give lectures on Hongmeng Avenue and a series of secrets about the depths of chaos in Chongshan Hall. It has a huge promotion effect on the improvement of cultivation and the broadening of horizons. Moreover, Chongshan Academy can also refine elixirs and magic weapons of the Hongmeng realm. This is the fundamental reason why they Sanking are never willing to leave. Only by embracing all rivers can we continue to move forward. If we sing a one-man show behind closed doors, we will only be reduced to the bottom. Of course, they can also go to other Hongmen true realms, but if they are not direct disciples, who will tell you the secrets of Hongmen? In Chongshan world, although Su Junming searches for more hard work, at least you still have a chance to hear it. Comparing the two, as long as you are not a fool, you will know how to choose. Sanking only said a few words to express dissatisfaction, but they were still reluctant to let them go. Boom! The loud bell suddenly rang in the ears of the three people. Look at each other. Su Junming wants to recruit, do you want to go, Yuan Shi asked. They were very familiar with this kind of bell sound. Every time the 8th Patriarch Chongshan gave a sermon, he would ring the golden bell and let the Hunyuan golden immortals come to listen to the sermon. But hearing sermons also comes at a cost. Millions of hard work per person, every time. Now that their hard work has turned into double digits, if you listen to it again, it will be a negative number. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1192. Chapter 1171 Chongshan Kixuan Cliff. Before the prince could answer, a clear and familiar voice sounded in his ears. 30,000 years later, all Hunyuan monks must go to the Chongshan Hall at the central peak of Kixuan Cliff in Chongshan. Those who fail to do so will be fined with 3 million gong confiscated. It seems we have to go, Tai Shang said. Brother, this time Su Junming summoned all the monks who have achieved Hunyuan to come to Chongshan Hall. It seems that there is something important, Yuan Shi said. Is it for the promotion of Chongshan world to Hongmen? Tong Tian hesitated. It's probably related to this, the Supreme Being nodded. Within 30,000 years, due to the great opportunity of the Chongshan world to become the Hongmen true realm and the law to manifest, countless monks have made great progress in their Taoism. The true realm of Chongshan has also ushered in a wave of overcoming tribulations. Deluo monks have increased by 20%, and Hunyuan monks have increased by 10%. The remaining time is enough for them to stabilize their practice. 30,000 years later, countless monks flew towards Kixuan Cliff in Chongshan Mountain. Countless newcomers were shocked when they looked at the 7 giant peaks billions of feet tall but inverted that emerged from the billowing sea of chaos. Even from hundreds of millions of miles away, one can still feel the majestic power contained in these 7 giant peaks. The powerful formation isolates the energy of chaos and creates a space that covers hundreds of millions of miles for the place where the 7 peaks are located. A mighty spiritual light bloomed from the 7 peaks, illuminating every detail of the entire space. Master, is this Kixuan Cliff of Chongshan Mountain? A young monk in white robes looked at the 7 giant peaks with vast aura in the distance in shock. Looking at the young apprentice who had just been promoted to Deluo and came to practice in the Sea of Chaos, Luo Hongzin nodded. Kixuan Cliff is the center of the Sea of Chaos. On Chiming Cliff is the Chongshan Library Hall. The books in it cover everything, including Qi refining, Formation Dao, Weapon Dao, Beast Control, Kimandunjia and other various arts and crafts. There are many jade slips. There are trillions of volumes, and there are even Taoist books in the realm of Hongmen. There are also countless notes written by senior practitioners. As long as you pay a certain amount of hard work, you can understand all the books. It can be called a blessed place for casual practitioners like us. Luo Hongzin said with emotion. He was originally a casual cultivator in the prehistoric world, but because he had no inheritance, it was always difficult to enter the Hunyuan. It wasn't until he came to the world of Chongshan that he exchanged a large volume of Ming Sutra from the Chongshan Library Hall with hard work, which pointed to the Hunyuan Golden Immortal, and thus successfully advanced to Hunyuan. After more than a dozen Yuan Hui, he is already a Hunyuan true immortal. The sect he founded is also thriving in a stable environment. To him, the world of Chongshan was much better than the world of prehistoric times. Especially for their casual cultivators, it was an unprecedented blessed land. In the future, if you have accumulated enough hard work, you can come here to exchange for books you are interested in. The young disciple nodded vigorously. In addition to the chiming Cliff Library Hall, there are 3,000 Dharma platforms in Zixiao Cliff, which are specially used for preaching. All monks in the Sea of Chaos can board the pulpit and preach their own Dharma. Anyone who listens to the sermon must pay a fee. It takes a certain amount of hard work to listen to the sermon. Master, have you gone up to talk about it? Of course. It's a pity that my practice as a teacher is limited, and my accumulation is only enough to preach for 300 years. Luo Hongzhen felt a little regretful. The more years of teaching, the more advanced the Taoism is and the more hard work can be collected. Of course, you must be truthful in what you say. If you are accused of cheating, you will end up in jail. Luo Hongzhen quickly changed the topic. The Golden Cauldron Cliff of Kixuan Cliff is where Chaos Haifang City is located. Any monk can trade any magic weapon, spiritual elixir, etc. he wants to buy or sell. The Biang Cliff of Kixuan Cliff has 30,000 alchemy furnaces, 30,000 weapon refining furnaces, and 30,000 magic performance rooms, which can be rented to all Chaos monks. Master, where is the performance room? The higher the monk's cultivation level, the stronger the destructive power of Taoism. Therefore, although it is not prohibited to practice Taoism and magical powers in the Chaos Sea, if damage is caused, 10 times the compensation is required. Therefore, many people will rent a performance room to practice follow the law to avoid irreversible consequences. I see. You may want to pay attention to this when you practice spells in the future. Renting a magic performance room is not expensive, so don't let the small gain make the big gain. Disciple understands. Kixuan Cliff's Qingyuan Cliff is a place left by Chongshan Academy for disciples to communicate and rest. It will not be open to the public. Luo Hongzhen paused and his expression became solemn. The sixth cliff of Kixuan Cliff is called Black Prison Cliff. It is the place where Chongshan Academy imprisons criminal monks. It is also the place where monks from the Sea of Chaos are least willing to go. Master, there are rumors that there are countless illusions in the Black Prison, which are more powerful than the illusions of the inner demons in the heavenly tribulation. I don't know, but I never want to go into that place. However, if you are bullied outside, you can go directly to the Black Prison heavenly branch to file a complaint. Even if the other party is a disciple of Chongshan, you will still be punished for making mistakes. Master, is heaven really so just? Will it punish even the disciples of Chongshan? Of course. Since I came to the Sea of Chaos, I have seen at least thousands of Chongshan disciples thrown into Black Prison for making mistakes, and some were even beheaded directly. The young disciple's tone was full of admiration. Chongshan Academy is indeed a famous and authentic section. After looking at him, Luo Hongzhen changed the topic. Chongshan is great in every way, but the internal competition is too fierce. No matter how many resources there will be less allocated to everyone. They are not much better than us casual cultivators. What Master said is true. Although the young disciple said this, his expression did not agree with it. The welfare of Chongshan disciples has long been spread throughout the cultivation world. Outer disciples have middle grade Yuan Yang Lingbao Sapphire Staff, Yuanyang level Chongshan 3 elixirs, and Yuanyang level robes. The inner disciple also has a Tai level storage gourd. The direct disciple has an additional Hunyuan level Xiao Chongshan Cave Heaven. These alone are far beyond those of them. It's a pity that he was accepted by his mentor early and lost the opportunity to enter Chongshan. Although it was a pity, the teacher treated him well, and he had to repay the kindness of hundreds of thousands of years of hard work, so he never thought about joining Chongshan. By the way, there are 9 life and death contests on the Black Prison Cliff. But there are very few situations where monks like me have to fight to separate life and death, so they are rarely open there. It's good for you to know. The last part of Kixuan Cliff is called Central Cliff or Central Peak. It is the hub of Kixuan Cliff, where Chongshan Hall is located, and it is also the place of practice for the 8th Patriarch of Chongshan. Outsiders are not allowed unless summoned by Patriarch Chongshan. Enter. The above is the overview of Chongshan Kixuan Cliff. After speaking, Luo Hongzhen turned his head and looked at the second disciple next to him who didn't say much. Yulei. Teacher. Take your junior brother to visit Kixuan Cliff in Chongshan Mountain. It's his first time here. Let him see more. Yes. When I return from the Central Cliff Chongshan Hall, I will take you back together. As commanded. After placing the two disciples on Jinding Cliff where Fangxi was located, Luo Hongzhen flew straight towards the central hall. There are many monks like him. Looking at the dense escaping light on the left and right, I was secretly surprised. He really didn't expect that there were so many Hunyuan monks in the Chaos Sea. They followed the crowd and landed on the huge bluestone square in front of the hall, climbing up the stairs. There are not only human monks like him, but also the tall giant spirit clan, the winged clan with wings on their backs, the wild beast clan with lion heads, leopard tails, or dragon scales, and the soul clan with cold auras shrouded in black mist. There are all kinds of strange things and all kinds of colors. But they were all respectful. After passing through the steps, you will reach the magnificent Chongshan Hall, which is thousands of feet high. After stepping through the spacious portal, an extremely huge space shrouded in layers of white mist appeared in front of them. The soft milky white brilliance illuminates the entire space. At the same time, the layers of futons are arranged one after another. In the middle, the 8 high lotus terraces are the most eye-catching. As soon as Luo Hongzhen entered the door, he felt an attraction that penetrated into his soul. Subconsciously following this attraction, I came to a yellow futon, knowing in my heart that after sitting cross-legged on it, the attraction disappeared. Looking around, there are more than 1,000,000 thrones in the entire hall. Most were behind him, and in front of him were more than 300,000. If the Dharma throne is indeed ranked by cultivation level as he expected, this is an astonishing number. Suddenly there was a hint of commotion in the crowd. Luo Hongzhen turned around and saw 3 monks with strong auras, old, middle and young, walking in with dozens of monks of different shapes who had all entered the Hunyuan. Sam Chong. It's Sanking. They're here too. True Lord Chongshan rang the golden bell to invite all the Hunyuan people to come to this gathering. Of course they will come. Sanking naturally heard and saw the commotion in the crowd. However, their eyes were focused more on the front, where there were many advanced Hunyuan golden immortals like them sitting there. Following the traction, they sat on the seats belonging to the 3 of them and sat silently with their eyes closed, but their souls were outside, observing the situation in the hall. The large number of Hunyuan monks surprised them, but what shocked them even more was that more than half of them had cords tied around their waists. With that unique aura, one could tell that he was a disciple of Chongshan without having to identify him. They all knew that Chongshan Academy had developed rapidly in recent years, but they never expected that their foundation would be so rich. Compared with Taoism, although it cannot be said to be a dust, it is not much stronger. That's not all. There are nearly 100 monks sitting in front who have reached the Hunyuan golden immortal level. Half of them wear red gourds, and a few wear orange gourds. Obviously, many of Kongshan's third-generation disciples have already reached the Hunyuan golden immortal realm. Kongshan's heritage is getting stronger and stronger, the Supreme Being sighed in his heart. Yuan Shi's face was a little ugly. He had always been arrogant. He had devoted himself to teaching his disciples for many years, and all he wanted to do was catch up with Chongshan. But now, not only are the strengths of both sides not pulling in, but they are even stronger. As proud as he is, he can't help but feel a sense of frustration in his heart. Tongtian's face doesn't look good either, but he has always been open-minded. If you are not as strong as others, just keep working hard. Moreover, Chongshan Academy is not an enemy, so there is no need to worry about gains and losses and feel uneasy. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1193. There are quite a few people who are thinking about Sanking at this moment, including the giant spirit god and Wuzhu, Shen Ni, and several Hunyuan golden immortals in the clan, the Earth Emperor clan, the Human Emperor clan, several ancestors of the Earth Dragon clan and the Feather Wing clan, etc. Wait. For more than a dozen Yuan Hui years, they have worked hard to urge their clansmen to practice in order to one day close the gap with Chongshan Academy. Now the gap has not shortened, but widened. How can I feel good? Is the purpose of today's gathering to demonstrate the strength of Chongshan Academy and to intimidate all races and factions? This idea came to countless monks' minds. Su Junming and others, who were invisible in mid-air, saw everyone's expressions in their eyes. Looking at the looks of these guys, they feel very desperate. Ren Wuji is always the first to speak. I didn't expect that today's party would have such an effect. It's an unexpected surprise, Su De said. Let's go down. Su Junming flicked his fingers, the hidden aura converged, and the figures of the 8 people appeared in front of everyone in an instant. A mighty opportunity swept the whole place. The monks such as Sanking, Juling Shenzun, etc. were shocked in their hearts. The vast and boundless aura had obviously surpassed them by a level. Hongmeng realm. After being shocked, the body fell down involuntarily. Meet the real king, teacher. You don't have to be polite, just get up. Everyone straightened their backs and sat down again. Su Junming's deep eyes slowly swept across the cultivators. Even Chenyi, Dai Huangshi, Sanking, and others did not dare to look at him. You all felt it before. Our Chongshan world has successfully advanced to the Hongmeng true world. The meaning of the true world is to cut off the past and future, leaving only the true nature here. From now on, your destiny will be unified, and you will never be cut off from the path again. However, before the Chongshan world merged with all realms and advanced, there were countless shadow realms derived from the prehistoric world, the wild god realm, and the early human realm. Although the shadow realm is not as good as the real world, it also gave birth to countless creatures similar to you. I want to use my great magic power to grab all the shadow realms from time and space. By then, there will be more than a dozen Sanking, Shen Ni, De Huan clan, and Human Emperor clan coexisting in the Hongmeng true realm. As soon as these words came out, Sanking, Shenyi, and even all the monks who had vague guesses were trembling. Suddenly there are several, or even more than a dozen of myself. This feeling is really complicated. You don't have to worry, I will cut off the cause and effect between you when the time comes. After a pause, Su Junming smiled faintly. The higher your cultivation level, the weaker the blood and family ties will be. This time, even if you are, there must be a few more blood brothers. With a wave of his sleeves, the surrounding space expanded instantly, stretching hundreds of millions of miles in an instant. Su Junming put his hands behind his back, and the magic power in his body soared into the sky. The gourd vines above the head are winding like dragons and snakes, and the time gourds and space gourds that have advanced to Hongmeng simultaneously light up with endless spiritual light. At the same time, the true world of Chongshan is like an abyss or a sea, and the endless power of heaven and earth is rolling in. The gourd auras intertwined with each other and merged with each other, turning into hundreds of auras that penetrated the sky. Boom boom boom. The originally calm white clouds instantly turned like dragons and snakes, roaring and beating, and quickly turned into hundreds of large black holes. The thick atmosphere of time and space came from it. Su Junming's heart moved, and hundreds of gourd vines expanded instantly, like tough and huge palms, penetrating into the black space passage. The next moment, the gourd vine suddenly stretched straight, as if it was pulling a huge weight. All the monks looked up at the sky, nervously paying attention to all the time and space passages. To be honest, the methods used by true Lord Chongshan Su Junming today are really shocking. Using great magic power to open space channels and capture hundreds of shadow realms from another time and space, this magical power has exceeded everyone's imagination. Suddenly, a black shadow wrapped in gourd vines flew out. Everyone instantly saw clearly that it was a huge world. Sanking instantly felt a familiar aura from it, and his eyes became complicated. Prehistoric. The place that often appeared in my midnight dreams was where their infinite majesty and dreams rested. Unfortunately, there is no going back. With the first one, there is the second one. Soon, 500 to 600 different worlds flew out of it. The gourd light in the space above Su Junming's head sprayed out, and a huge space passage led directly to the Chongshan True Realm. With a wave of his sleeves, all the shadow realms flew into the Chongshan realm. However, all the shadow realms combined are only 1,000th of the size of the Chongshan True Realm, which is about 10 times the size of Taoist Primordial Realm. After flying down to the world of Chongshan, there was another huge island in the vast ocean. Laolu. After Chen Xianzang nodded, the 12-grade red lotus of cause and effect slowly flew out from Baihui above his head. His heart moved at will, guided by the magic formula, and the mighty power of cause and effect fell straight into it. Sanking, Sheni, Daihuang clan, Renhuang clan, and even Nuhua and others, clear cracking sounds sounded from the depths of their souls. In an instant, there was no longer any involvement in the islands formed by the hundreds of shadow realms. They understood that this was what Su Junming had previously called cutting off cause and effect. Qin Zhong, Lin Zhengying, Qiao Shaoxin, Yan Chixia, Zhuolong, Yang Mei, Zhen Yuanzi. The disciple is here. More than a dozen Yuanhui came down, and with Su Junming's generous support from Hongmen's creation spirit water, whether it was Qin Zhong and others, or the late Yang Mei, Zhen Yuanzi and Qi Yu, all of them had reached the level of Taoishuan gods and demons based on their pure qualifications. No less than Sanking, Jian and Zunti. Coupled with sufficient elixirs and the assistance of the Dian Divine Mirror, the Hunyuan Golden Immortal is now complete. In fact, Yang Mei, Zhen Yuanzi, Hongyuan and other existences who have already advanced to the Hunyuan Golden Immortal level have already reached the realm of the Hongmeng Supreme Lord if it had not been due to their failure to advance to Hongmeng. But even so, after more than a dozen Yuanhui accumulations, they have accumulated a profound foundation for the creation of Hongmeng. Looking at his proud disciple. Each of you will take your disciples and rush to Yingdao, summon powerful monks from all sects, tell me the rules of Chongshan, and bring the monks above Delugo to the Sea of Chaos. As commanded. The purpose of today's meeting is the matter of the Shadow Realm, which you all already know. What I want to emphasize is that the people in the Shadow Realm are all monks of our Chongshan True Realm. You must not yell at them because of the previous cause and effect. If there is any violation, according to the seriousness of the case, he will be thrown into a black prison and suffer. Don't say that you didn't predict what you said. Everyone go back. With a wave of his sleeves, an irresistible force surged forward, and everyone flew out of the Chongshan Hall in an instant. Standing on the steps, looking at the mammoth palace that was thousands of feet high in front of them and shrouded in the vast divine light, the faces of Shen Ni, De Huang clan, Human Emperor clan, Juling Shenzun, San Qing and others looked a little ugly. They originally thought that even if the cultivation of more than a dozen Yuanhui could not compare with Su Junming and other Chongshan 8 patriarchs, the gap would not be too far behind. Only now did I realize that the distance was not getting closer, but actually getting wider. That vast ocean of magic power contains at least 3 beings in the Hongmeng Supreme Realm. Coupled with the powerful world power of Chongshan Zhenjia, there is almost no resistance. Everyone looked at each other, and after changing their expressions, they left. With the integration of the shadow world and the advancement of the world, Chongshan is once again on the fast track of development. There are more and more monks, and the number of people who have advanced to Deluo and Hunyuan realms almost doubles every 10 Yuan Hui. With more and more monks and a peaceful environment, Chongshan has truly entered a prosperous age of cultivation, and its area has grown rapidly. After 12 Yuan Hui, it has doubled. 30 Yuan Hui later, Dragon Emperor, Ao Tian, Suda, Nuwa, Fuxi, Yang Mei, Zhen Yuanzi, and Qingli and Daijun successively survived the heavenly tribulation and achieved the realm of Hongmeng. After another 10 Yuan Hui, Tiangong Taoist advanced to Hongmeng. In the blink of an eye, 100 Yuan will pass. The area of Chongshan True Realm has expanded nearly 9 times, and there are nearly 30 existences at the level of Hongmeng Shangzun. All the disciples of Chongshan generation, except Su Junming, have advanced. The second generation disciples of Chongshan, Chenlin, Panluo, Shuezhangyang, and Sun Er died in a natural disaster. Outside the Chongshan mountain, Shen Ni, Di Huan clan, and Ren Huan clan died from the calamity of the inner demons. San Qing, Juling Shenzun, and Ji Yin each advanced and died. Everything is different. Su Junming was still wearing a blue robe, sitting quietly in the middle of the Hunyuan stone ball, surrounded by thick chaotic aura. Since the merger of the shadow realm of the sky, he has retreated for 100 Yuan Hui in the Hunyuan stone ball. If you include the time extended by the time method, there are at least 3,000 Yuan Hui. 3,000 Yuan will absorb the refined chaotic spiritual energy, which is endless. Under the nourishment of this endless spiritual energy, all 13 gourds of calabash vine were finally upgraded into 3 forbidden Hongmeng high-grade spiritual treasures. This is also the limit that his current physical body and soul can tolerate. After more than 3,000 Yuan Hui trainings, his physical body, Yuan Shen, spiritual treasures, and Taoism have reached the limit that can be achieved in the Hunyuan realm. If this fails to advance to Hongmeng, no one in the entire chaos will be able to advance. Finally, he looked at Nuwa, Su Bui, and his disciples who were hundreds of millions of miles away, watching him overcome the calamity. After a faint smile, he no longer suppressed his mana and blood. Boom! A 13-color air column rose into the sky like a volcano erupting. The vast breath covers hundreds of millions of miles. Daddy is so strong. Su Bui looked amazed. Nuwa next to her smiled and nodded. Although she had already advanced to Hongmeng, Su Junming, who was still at Hunyuan perfection, far surpassed her in terms of momentum. Boom! Accompanied by earth-shattering thunder, boundless chaos stirred, and the extremely rich chaotic energy turned into rolling thunder under the powerful law of the Great Avenue. In just a few moments, the size of the thunder cloud had exceeded billions of miles. Compared to the Dragon Emperor and his companions, the thunder calamity was more than 10 times greater. Oh my god, the boss's thunder calamity is too scary, Ren Wuji exclaimed. The boss has accumulated more than 100 Yuan Hui and is already at the peak of the Hunyuan realm. The scale of the thunder tribulation is naturally far beyond that of ordinary people. However, no matter how strong the thunder tribulation is, it is not a threat to the current boss. Suda said. Everyone nodded. Su Junming's accumulation is too scary. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 1194. Staring at the thick calamity clouds above, Su Junming felt extremely calm. His strong strength gave him deep confidence. Now he finally understands the true meaning of the motto of the Great Dao: the Great Dao is 50, the heaven is 49. All living beings have the opportunity to achieve the supreme path. But people with ordinary qualifications do not have enough perseverance to reach the pinnacle of martial arts. Qi practitioners with extraordinary qualifications and extraordinary understanding can't bear the loneliness of practicing Taoism. They always want to take shortcuts, but they don't know that this kind of thinking has entered the devil's way. If you are eager for quick success and quick gain, unless you have a great opportunity, you will not be able to escape the fate of death from a natural disaster. If one is really like him, able to endure loneliness and reach the peak of Hunyuan, then the heavenly tribulation will no longer be a life and death crisis, but just an ordinary test. Boom! The thunder calamity reaching millions of feet was like falling from the sky, hitting Su Junming directly. When I was confident, I didn't use any spiritual treasures at all. I relied solely on the strength of my martial arts body to resist this first catastrophe. The sharp tribulation thunder instantly enveloped Su Junming. The sound of ding dong dang dang is like the sound of gold and iron. The jumping arc was isolated by the tough and powerful flesh. Soon the second thunder calamity fell. The result remains the same. It wasn't until 30 thunder tribulations that the skin was broken open. It took 60 lightning tribulations before the muscles were injured. After 90 lightning tribulations, it reached the muscles and bones. If you switch to a strong person who practices martial arts and survives 81 thunder tribulations, you can advance to Hongmeng. A person like Su Junming who is both a martial artist and a master of martial arts needs to survive 120 lightning tribulations. Su Junming didn't just rely on his physical body to survive the thunder tribulation that followed. His heart moved, and a sky blue gourd flew out. The thick space Dao rime overwhelms the boundless chaos. In the blink of an eye, 10 lightning tribulations were taken away. After 100 tribulations, the power will increase exponentially. After using the space gourd to collect the 5 paths, the heavenly tribulation has turned light red. Although the thunder that is full of Hongmeng Daiyun looks much smaller in scale, it is more powerful. 5 paths, 10 paths, and in a blink of an eye, only the last 5 paths are left. The scale of the thunder disaster at this time was hundreds of times that of the beginning. The vast thunder stirred up the boundless chaos, and the thunder and lightning converged into a crimson thunder eye with a diameter of tens of millions of feet. Obviously, Su Junming's thunder disaster has come to the last moment. Staring at the thunder in mid-air, Su Junming still had the same expression as at the beginning, neither arrogant nor impetuous, fearless. Boom! The crimson beam of light instantly penetrated the sky and the earth. The lightning tribulation was like a stream of water, so powerful and frightening that even the space in its path was instantly destroyed. A crystal-colored gourd soared into the sky, a rich sense of time flashed through, and the thunder tribulation disappeared instantly. The tyranny of the time gourd took away the 116th, 117th, and 118th tribulation thunders. The intensity of the last 2 thunderbolts made Yang Mei and others' hearts tremble even though they were hundreds of millions of miles apart. If I had encountered a calamity thunder of this magnitude when I was going through the calamity, I would have died long ago. Zhen Yuan's aside. The strength of our mentor is beyond our ability to predict. Such a shocking thunder disaster is unheard of, Yan Shixia said. Look, it's number 119. Qin Zhong's voice made everyone look over. But what shocked them was that the teacher Su Junming didn't even wait for the thunder to fall. With a thought in his heart, a 5-color gourd rose into the sky. The mighty 5-element spiritual light was like a sky-shattering rainbow. The moment it brushed down in the sky, the thunder eye in the sky disappeared instantly. The mighty thunder clouds that stretched hundreds of millions of miles seemed to be cut into 2 sections by a huge sword holding up the sky. At this moment, the thunder calamity in mid-air was slowed down by half a beat. Boom boom boom. Like an angry bull, roaring continuously. The calamity clouds in the sky are like quickly assembled storm clouds, wildly devouring the surrounding chaotic aura. The thunder eye in the middle grew rapidly. The crimson thunder quickly turned into more powerful thunder slurry. The 120th thunder tribulation is also the last thunder tribulation. Su Junming stood with his hands behind his hands, looking up at Lei Ji, his heart calm. After the thunder accumulated to the extreme, he activated the five elements talisman in his heart, floating in the air, and the five elements gourd shrouded in the five-color aura suddenly expanded. A huge amount of five-color divine light spurted out from the mouth of the gourd. The previous scene resurfaced again. The mighty five-color divine light, like a sky-shattering rainbow, instantly penetrated the entire calamity cloud. The Hunyuan Maja, which was pressed for hundreds of millions of miles and had a strong and powerful aura, was once again cut in half by the divine light. The last thunder tribulation was broken, and most of the power of the heavenly tribulation was lost. The next moment, a black heart demon energy penetrated the world and flew into Su Jun Sea of consciousness. The calamity of inner demons. Counting the sword holding that was delayed by time and Taoism and polished by thousands of Yuan Hui, his state of mind has long become indestructible. What's more, there is the help of Dian Divine Mirror. However, Su Junming was not in a hurry to wake up from the inner demon world. For him, fantasy is also a rare space for relaxation. It also allowed him to enjoy rare family time, living with Nuwa and their two children every day, which was indeed worth recalling. But no matter how good the illusion is, it is not reality after all. After waking up, the tribulation energy that filled the sky turned into a rich spiritual light of creation, overwhelmingly pouring into his body. The mana and energy and blood in his body expanded rapidly. Su Junming focused on absorbing spiritual energy, and his physical body grew rapidly, and soon exceeded the ultimate height of 120 million feet at the peak of the martial saint. 1 billion zhang, 10 billion zhang, 50 billion zhang, it was not until it passed 100 billion zhang that it gradually slowed down. At the same time, driven by powerful magic power, Su Junming's Danshan expanded rapidly, and the powerful magic power became more and more abundant. The whole process lasted 3 months before everything finally stabilized. Feeling the changes in his body, as well as the mana and blood 10,000 times greater than before, Su Junming finally realized the mystery of Hongmeng Shangzun's realm. Putting away his Dharmakaya, all the disciples watching the battle gathered around him. Congratulations to Dad for advancing to Hongmeng. Congratulations to my mentor for advancing to the Hongmeng Master. Looking at his prostrate children and disciples, Su Junming, who successfully broke through, felt happy in his heart. After smiling and nodding, he flicked his sleeves, and his surging secret power lifted everyone up. No need to be polite, just get up. Thank you Dad, teacher. It's a rare happy event today. Come with me to Chongshan residence. We, master and disciple, will have a good feast and lively for a few days. Everyone was happy, even though Su Junming came to live in Chongshan. Master and apprentice, father and son, drank wine, admired the moon, and talked about all kinds of novel things. After 7 days of joy, they gradually dissipated. Su Junming spent time with Nuwa and his 2 children, enjoying the happiness of a family for thousands of years. At this time, his mana truly stabilized. Chongshan lives in the backyard. This has become the new place of practice for the 8 patriarchs of Chongshan. As for the Chaos Stone Ball, as more and more monks have broken through to the Hongmeng realm, it has become the place of practice for the Hongmeng Lord. There were not only Chongshan disciples, but also Sanking, Jian, and Juling Shenzhen. There were so many people there that Su Junming and the others no longer went there. 132 Yuan Hui, we have finally survived the catastrophe and advanced to the Hongmeng Supreme Master Ren Wuji side. Hey, Hongmeng Shangzun is just another starting point. There will be Great Lord, Supreme Lord, and the highest Heavenly Lord behind. Maybe there will even be a higher realm after Heavenly Lord. The road is long, and I will search up and down, Suda said. I can't see that money-grubbing Su Lao like you is occasionally smart. Go away, 5th Master is already extremely smart. They didn't need to argue, everyone understood that the Supreme Master was just the starting point, and it was far from the time to stop and rest. I still remember that there is a Kanyang immortal mansion deep in the chaos. Previously, we were not able to cultivate enough and did not dare to go there. Now we have advanced. It is time to go and explore, Ao Tian said. Suda's eyes lit up instantly. It is rumored that Kanyang is the body of a great master. There must be several middle-grade Hongmeng spiritual treasures in his immortal mansion. You know the treasure all day long, but don't you think about it? Why can Kanyang Immortal Palace have existed for such a long time and has been widely circulated among countless monks, but has not been taken away by anyone? Renwuji said. Fifth Master is not a fool. Of course he has considered this matter. There are only three possibilities. First, the great Lord Kanyang is not dead at all, but is a fisherman hiding behind the scenes, causing a group of Hunyuan monks to kill each other. Secretly collecting spiritual treasures from corpses and practicing magical powers. Secondly, Kanyang has the support of powerful forces behind him, so that the beings in the Hongmeng realm dare not go forward. Only some Hunyuan monks who do not understand the world and do not know the depth go to die, but they are harvested by the disciples of that big section. Third, the palace protecting formation is too strong, or there are heavy treasures to suppress it. Even the great master would not dare to take action easily. I can't tell, but you think clearly, Renwuji said in surprise. Fifth master is not as stupid as you. Go away, second master, I am extremely smart. Okay, Su Junming's voice suppressed the two of them. You can stay in Chongshan world for the time being. I will go to Kanyang Immortal Mansion first to see what is true and what is true. Boss, how about I go with you? Suda said, licking his face. Go away, Su Lao, I don't think I know what your plans are. If you want to get closer to the water, you should get the moon first. No way. Even if the boss gets the treasure, it will be shared equally by everyone. Ren Lao why do you always do bad things to me? Hey, the second master just likes you. Su Junming was too lazy to pay attention to the two of them. Just as he was about to speak, he stopped talking. With a wave of his sleeves, spiritual energy rolled in front of him, and a 3-foot-long water mirror emerged. There was deep chaos in the water mirror, but it didn't last long. The violent chaotic energy seemed to have received a huge impact, and it instantly evolved into earth, water, wind, and fire. In the mighty wind and fire, 4 giant black dragons millions of feet long, with 9 claws on their belly and 6 wings on their back, rushed out like lightning. The speed is faster than lightning, and a wave of 6 wings can cover hundreds of millions of miles. Each giant dragon is wrapped with a black rain, and at the end of the rope is a gorgeous palace made of bronze. This palace covers millions of acres and is 10,000 feet high. The 4 walls are engraved with complex and mysterious divine patterns, and on the high bulging roof, there are reliefs of 4 beasts that look like lions and tigers, with their teeth and claws showing, adding a bit of power.